truth be told, I don't want to stay for very long because this is for the July vlog. And I know that in the last video I mentioned that that month was July, but this is July, that was June. It's very late and I'm gonna need to go to sleep. I just wanted to mention something that I think maybe I'll forget. It's the thing is, and I know I'm repeating myself like 1,000 times and maybe only I can hear how much I'm repeating, but I'll talk more about every subject when I get the chance. The past month, the month of July, I got into the masters that I applied for. I also got the new job that I wanted, and besides that I got to meet with my friends, like hang out and play board games and talk and do all that stuff. I rewrote 2 verses from a song that I already made, and I made it much better. I wrote 2 whole new songs from scratch, and for some reason I still feel like I'm full of desperation, and somehow I see myself at the bottom of a pit, and to some degree I think I am imagining a light at the top, because at this point I have no idea if there actually is a light at the top of the pit that I feel myself in. And I don't know if it's self-pity or what exactly is, but I'm forcing myself to some degree to see the bright side, trying to feel good for the achievement and accomplishments and victories that I've gotten, but for some reason I feel as though it's not good enough. You know, I don't know if maybe some people can relate to this, but I don't. It's just, I feel as though, and I'm not gonna stand a lot on this because I didn't put any lighting, I just took the mic up, and I just feel like in my deep part of consciousness, I feel as though every or most choices are just compromises after. It's a compromise after a compromise after a compromise. Getting the college degree that I tried to stick with, getting into the masters that I somewhat wanted, getting the job that I somehow stumbled upon and I kind of needed and wanted. And now I'm just thinking about every single action and thing that happened, and I always try to tell myself it's about the journey, and I need to take the journey and whatever the journey. But honestly, I am working so hard to feel good, and I'm forcing myself so much to see the bright side on every single win, let's put it. Because no matter how much or how often, how large or how good or bad or how the win is, I just cannot feel good about it. It's like I'm in a perpetual motion of feeling bad and somehow having a subconscious wish to fail and to feel bad further. It's weird and it's pretty stupid. And I remember that at some point I said it's good to something about losing your soul, and I have just been thinking of so many things, and it's just my thoughts are in 1,000 places, rushing and running all over, yet I cannot bring myself to enjoy even the littlest or the highest or the biggest of wins that I get in my life, because no matter how much I get paid, somebody else gets paid more and wins more than me. No matter how good my masters or my intelligence or my muscles or my whatever is, somebody else's will have, and it will be bigger and whatever. And it's just trying to find or to accept the fact that the thing that you particularly excel at is not maybe the thing that you want to excel at. Maybe it's just the fact that I am the kind of person that enjoys or hopes for or wishes for positive words to be brought to him, like having people constantly reinforce positive aspects of your thinking and actions and achievements has a higher impact that I honestly believed they would have over me. I guess this is a nothing rant about nothing, and just about me saying that everything is bad, but then at the same time, not everything is bad, but everything feels bad, but things are pretty good, but then everything feels bad. So maybe everything is bad, because no matter how much I try to feel good about stuff, I always come back to feeling bad about stuff, because apparently it's easier to feel bad about stuff than to feel good about stuff, because no matter how many wins you have, there is always at least one person that says, no, it's not good that you have this win, you need to have more wins. Like, who am I competing against? Myself, to what degree? Myself, my past self, my future self. It's like I'm in a constant competition with my future self to prove another version of myself, then I can be even better than any other version that can possibly exist of myself. It's the kind of spiral in which you would fall and simply become dizzy and unable to see a straight path into what can actually be done and what you can actually achieve. And now I feel like I've talked too much. Anyway, I'll explain more and in more detail maybe tomorrow when I get more time. Yeah. I guess this is gonna be like a first part of the vlog. I don't know. I'll see tomorrow, and maybe when I edit this I'm gonna decide when I'm gonna use it. Sorry. Filming, and I'm in focus, surprisingly. Good day. Hello. It is me again. Am I tired? Of course. Am I okay? Somewhat. It is the last day of July, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it's the 31st of July. Today, yeah. It's about, I always forget I need to keep these close to my mouth so that you can actually hear me. It's about 7:45 p.m. and I know this is not the best or most flattering angle or the cutest or the whatever angle that I can look the best at, but it is quite late. I am tired and my tummy hurts and I am for some reason sad, which is weird. I am going to explain and tell the story of how my month went. So the month of July has been, in fact, quite a productive and to some degree good month for me. Now, in June, I made preparations and hopes, and I have been hoping for some time to move out, to get out of home and like my parents' place and stuff. And with each step that I took to moving out and doing stuff outside and like outside of my home and whatever, I already knew, but the actual crystallization of the realization, I know it sounds somehow it sounds, the actual crystallization of the actual realization of the fact that I was closer and closer to the point of achieving what I set out to do filled me with a great amount of frightening uncertainty, and as such I have arrived at a point in which I understand the fact that, I mean, not understand because I've always understood this particular fact, but I have arrived at a point where I'm closer and closer to the moment where I will need to actually start over. And let's put it in another perspective. As a child, one is expected, at least I was expected to be productive, and productive in what sense? In having an actual contribution to the household, which is understandable, which is no issue whatsoever. But I have arrived at the gates of somewhat adulthood, I guess, or a new chapter of adulthood where I have to live on my own. And that's not the issue. The issue is the fact that the realization of the idea that I have to start over again and do all the stuff that I need to do for myself again from zero, it's one that creates a lot of discouragement. And what do I mean by this? I sat down in the past few days and did the math, and to actually afford to buy even a place like in an apartment building, an apartment in an apartment building, I would need to save up money. I mean, if I saved like, let's say 500 euro, around 500 euro, if I were to save up around 500 euro a month, I would need about 20 years to get to a point where I could somewhat afford. Sorry for the jiggle, I need to find a place to like rest. I would need to, I would have to save up like 20 years to actually buy a home. So I would be around 45, if not 50, to have enough money to actually buy a home, which is disgusting. And this particular realization, for one, it somehow gave me the inspiration of creating like 2 songs, because I have not battle, but I have been wrestling with the idea of the fact that people say, oh, you live in the best possible scenario and version of whatever the world is in. But the fact of the matter is, the systems in place are on the brink of collapse and crippling entire areas of the economy and of contributors to that particular economy. And what I mean by this is the fact that I am surprisingly in the middle class, as many other people are. I am nowhere near the high level of whatever society, and I am closer to the lower parts of society. Yes, there are multiple benefits and stuff that I have, but the further and further and further I look, the further in the actual independence and gets away from me. If you, as a one person with a medium income job of doing whatever, if you were to have that particular job for 20 to 25 years, you would barely have enough to get a somewhat decent apartment, not even a good one. And if you realize that particular fact and have a look at the reality in which we take part in every day, for the fact that there are not 1 or 2 or 3, there are hundreds of people, of humans, who spend hundreds of thousands of dollars and euros and pounds on vehicles, on cars, and it's to the point that a somewhat luxury car costs as much as an apartment. And it's the realization of that particular reality that hits me right now, because I get the fact that everyone actually has a very slim chance of ever arriving at that particular end or result. And seeing how a lot of social media and news and every point of information and every outside opinion is that of just
pushing and pushing and grinding and working. The fact of the matter is hard work and diligence, respect, actual qualities of being a human being. I mean, to the point that it creates that particular division between being a human being and being a social animal. Those particular qualities and features of the human persona, they are so situational that it becomes disgustingly annoying to realize that not just you as a human being or as a person, that most people have either just as you or less of a chance of actually achieving any sort of independence from, and by independence I mean just living in a house that you own and just existing and paying your own bills. It's unbelievable. I mean, it's not unbelievable because it's a phenomenon that has been going on for a long time, and it just hit me a lot harder now because I have to deal with that particular reality more than I have been dealing with it for the past 25 years. And going back, because I went on a 10-minute rant about existentialism inside of the economical area of independence, let's put it this way. Going back to my point and my story, I have just received the good news that I have gotten into the masters that I wanted. So starting with October, I will start my masters. And I will do the courses, and I will have to pay for my first year of my masters, which is a lot because it's like 1,000 and something euro, which may not seem a lot, but it is, at least for me. Another good fact and thing that happened, event that happened, is the fact that after like a month of waiting, I was finally able to get an interview for a job that's decently paid in Bucharest, and I got it. And starting with the 25th of August, I will start training, and that's good. Amazing news, great news, right? But for some reason, I feel sad. Now, putting everything into perspective for the past few months and for the month of July, I got the masters, I got the job. I thought a mosquito. I thought it was a mosquito. It was not. So I got the masters, I got the job, I got the smartwatch. It's the Galaxy Watch 6 Classic, the non-5G, it's the normal one, and it's the 47mm, so it's the larger one. And I wanted it because, wait, I will get back, but look, I don't know, see? It has the rotating bezel stuff. It's, look, I almost completed my goals. Yeah, so that's that. So I got the watch. I got to meet with my friends this month, surprisingly, which meant that we got together, went to a restaurant, I drank some beers, got a bit like dizzy from the stuff, and then we all got back to my house and we played some board games. We played like one board game and we sang some songs, and I got the courage to sing an original song, a song that I made, and somebody gave me some feedback on it, and I was aware of that particular idea, but I just wanted to hear somebody else say it, so maybe I would get the motivation to rewrite some verses in that particular song, which I did. So I rewrote those two verses. I made that song, at least in my opinion, a 10 out of 10 song. I made it a perfect song. And after that, I wrote like 2 more songs. And I have an idea for a 3rd song. So I wrote a few songs, and I met with my friends, and my hair is amazing, surprisingly. And I got to eat blackberries, which I love very much. And it rained, which made the heat from outside, which was almost unbearable, calm down. And now it's cooler outside, and it's better than it has been like in forever. And so every single one of those events, also everything at my job, my current job, is going great. Everything at my current job is going great right now. And if I were to stay here, I would have gotten a promotion and gotten a salary raise and everything else that comes with that, and a lot more work, of course, but that's that. But everything there is great. I'm doing a great job at my job, and everything is great on that particular front. But for some reason, taking all that into consideration, for some reason, I still feel sad. I feel as though I have not done enough. I feel unsatisfied. I feel that I have been unproductive. I cannot enjoy my wins and take them at face value because I just find myself in an emotional making a reference to Sisyphusian cycle of pushing the boulder up the happiness mountain, and then when it gets up, it falls so fast down the hill or the mountain, and I find myself inside of the grind and the work and the mind space of not being happy. And I don't know, I cannot pinpoint why. I cannot see why I cannot enjoy even the small wins that I have. I have worked so hard and hoped for so long that I would get the opportunity to move out and get my master's and the new job and the new place to stay in. And I've applied, even after I finished my first degree in college, I applied like 2 more times for a psychology degree, and I was rejected again and again. And I tried, and every single time something didn't work out, and I was still stuck in the same place. And now that I am closer to the point that I'm closer to the point of my somewhat of success, I find myself being unable to enjoy the victory. Maybe it's because it's too soon, who knows. I just can't bring myself to feel happy for this particular successful endeavor. So yeah, that's that. And that's pretty much what happened in the whole month of August. I don't know why I feel the way I feel. I have enough information and experience, and I have the particular abilities and capacity to understand and to create a frame that would allow me to view the actual origin and point of issue for this problem. But for some subconsciously unconscious metaconscious reason, I cannot bring myself to the point of understanding why I am not happy. I'm not crying, it's just something got into my eye. That's it. And more than being, I mean, the only actual manner in which I have coped, or that I'm coping with regarding this unhappiness, is the fact that I have brought myself to the point of being so emotionally numb that I have very brief sprouts or moments of actual joy and happiness, and to some degree the same level of unhappiness. But the issue is that with sadness and the feelings of sadness, they become prolonged for one reason or another. I don't know, maybe I'm a pessimist. Maybe I even considered the fact that I may have a tiny bit of depression, which I refuse to accept the fact that I may have that particular single point of popular culture idea of depression, because I exercise and do weightlifting 5 days a week. I eat as healthy as I can, and I avoid as much as I can sugar, which is the main thing that gets the weight going. And I have been trying to, lose weight, like fat, like that, and gain muscle, which it has worked to some degree, and I enjoy looking better and better by day. Maybe it's the fact that I sleep quite badly and I get to sleep at very late hours. Maybe maybe they add up. Maybe every single point that I'm making adds up and brings me to this point. Who knows? I don't know if there's anything else that happened, or I don't remember. My business with the photography and videography stuff is not working. Nobody has contacted me or asked me to do like events or something. Nobody. As far as YouTube, well, you know how things go. There was a point where I had 11 subscribers, and then I had 10 subscribers again. And I know who unsubscribed, and I know why that person unsubscribed, and it's completely understandable. No judgment here. All good. I understand. And somebody subscribed, and I thank you for subscribing. Whoever the 11th subscriber is, I thank you very much. But the fact of the matter is, I have another 2 or 3 accounts, and I have subscribed to my channel with all of those other accounts. So technically, I have about 7 or 8 actual subscribers, actual people that have subscribed. And I'm not like begging, give me subscribe, give me subscriber, put subscriber here, and put like here. not sorry for, my audio is gonna be all over the place. But I'm not like, give me subscriber, give me. Un argent, madame, por favor, un argent. And I'm not like, give me subscribe, give me like or something, because I'm of the idea that if you like something, you're gonna like it regardless of whatever other parameters appear, and you're gonna subscribe if you feel like you gain something from that particular channel, just like me, just like I do. And yeah, of course, I would love to have like maybe like 1,000 subscribers. I don't know. I'd love to see how that feels, like have like when you post a video, have like 500 views. I mean, let's put it this way. I would not care if I had like 1,000 subscribers, but I would care if I had like 500 views on every video. 500 people, that's like a lot of people. I mean, if you put like 500 people in one room and you try talking to 500 people, that's not an easy job. Yeah. But yeah, if I shall correct myself, if I ever get to a point where I have at least 500 views on every video, and that happens constantly, that would be quite a milestone for me. And quite a big milestone for me. Let's hope. But yeah, I forgot what I was saying before, but I'm gonna move on from that, whatever. Yeah, you know what this reminds me of? On my old channel, the one that does not exist anymore, where I had actually quite a few more people subscribed. Quite a few, maybe like 50 people were subscribed or something like that. I had a video. Actually, I had like 3 videos. I had more videos, but I'm gonna come back to that. So I had like 3 videos which were doing very, very well. They were cover videos of some songs. And there was this particular video which had like 1,400 and something views. And I was ecstatic about it. I was super happy. And the thing is, I posted that video at one point and then I left the channel running for like 1 or 2 years and I didn't check it. And then when I came back, I noticed like 1,000 and something views on that particular video, and I had like 3 or 4 videos on my channel, and I was like, whoa. But then of course all the other like videos were like 1-2 views, so that's that. But yeah, I cannot find that particular video. That particular video is, I think, forever lost. And I'm sad about it, but what can I do about it? I cannot do anything. That's that. And it's done. And I'm doing my best on this particular channel. Truth be told, I'm not actually doing my precise and exact best. And I'm sorry about that. I promised you at one point that I would give you like the best quality videos ever, but they're not actually, and in fact, the best quality videos. It's more of me ranting about my life and stuff that I think about and other stuff and other things. So that's that. Yeah, but it's something, it helps me stay somewhat consistent with this thing, and I know that a lot of other people do it, but I'm trying to stay consistent with doing this. And for anybody wondering, I am filming everything and I am editing everything and I am the one that does everything for myself, So that's that. But yeah, For my predictions in the month of August, I shall start my new job. Hopefully, I will be able to find a place to stay. And that is I don't want to say like poop show, but it's a big and stinky poop show. Yeah. The economy, forgive me, I'm sorry. The economy apparently is so bad. And here is my thinking about it. Because I sometimes, I for some reason still hear the idea that work hard and be respectful and, do all those things. It doesn't work like that. It really doesn't, because a lot of the people that have houses bought those houses on extremely low or somewhat reasonable values when they bought them in the past, like 40, 30 and more years ago. But right now, the thing is, the prices of the houses and of properties skyrocketed so fast that the average and minimum salary have gone up by single-digit percentiles, and the values of real estate and other belongings have gone up by triple digits percentiles. And it's an absurd idea to have the expectation that any normal average person would be able to procure and get a living space without paying rent in their teens. It's just unreasonable and it's unachievable without having a silver spoon in your mouth or having the answers to some whatever equation or having that 1 percentile luck being brought to you on a silver platter. If you're a normal human being, you have, the more and more we get into the present day and into the future, the less and less of a chance any new person that comes into this world has to actually achieve a point of actual independence and stability within their life. Social media disturbs the emotional and psychological way of natural progression. The greed of corporations and so many stupidly rich people disturbs the fragile economy on which the majority of people rely on, so that up to a point they are unable to be self-sufficient. The area and market of relationships and interpersonal relations between people is so, it has gotten to a point where it devolves actually to a form of sign language, or I don't know how to put it. It's just very bad. Romantically, it's bad. Interpersonally, it's very bad. If you break a friendship, you have less of a chance of ever creating a new friendship, a friendship that lasts. And in my personal observations, relationships and friendships that last for a longer amount or period of time are those that are created in early childhood and kept from then on. But besides that, in my young adult life, I've made like maybe like 5 or 6 friends, and I do not remember them by exactly, but yeah, like actual friends. And it gets harder the older you get, apparently. So yeah, I mean, honestly, the truth has been staring in my face for years, and I, as a decent human being, have been thinking that maybe if I am a decent human being, good things will happen. Apparently, that is not the actual objective reality. And as much as I would have liked for Machiavelli's Di Principe, or The Prince, or however you want to say it, and Robert Greene's 48 Laws of Power, as much as I would have liked for those to not be generally applicable in the day-to-day life, those two are incredibly, like, frighteningly true. I guess it's a good thing that I will be doing a master's in philosophy, right? Yeah, my hand it's cramping up and it's hurting, and I need to stop doing this because it's been like 45 minutes and maybe more than 45 minutes. Yeah. We'll see how things go. I haven't forgotten about the 10 things that I need to do a video on, but yeah, I have been working and procrastinating a lot and writing, and apparently I have been succeeding at life, yet I still feel sad about it. But it helps talking about it. It somewhat helps talking about it and putting it into words and expressing it and developing my ideas even in front of the camera. Sometimes I just want a person to be there, like there, and just listen. Just listen, and that's it. But maybe if I had that person, I wouldn't be doing this. And you wouldn't have the pleasure of seeing me right now, giving to you what I have in here. And you wouldn't be having the opportunity of seeing my face move and hearing me talk and doing so many things, like sitting and changing my sitting position from one point to the other and yawning so much. Here comes, wait. Yes. So, once more, this has been the month of July, and today is the last day of July. And I will be seeing you in the next video, whenever that happens to be. And as usual, I thank you for watching, for taking time from your busy day to watch me and hear me speak about stuff. I hope that you are healthy, I hope that you are safe, and I hope that you are well. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.